easier through the use of closed user group services.
Exercise is a very crucial one. It has been implemented successfully in other countries. I understand it was implemented in Senegal and Sierra Leone, and we're using those two countries as models to develop our own here. Through this exercise, you'll be able to know the number of farmers in the country. You'll be able to segregate the data, knowing their gender, knowing their age, knowing the different areas they intervene in terms of farming, be it crop or livestock, knowing the different types of support given to them.
Dr. Babu Job is the Director General of the National Agricultural Research Institute. Commenting on the significance of information in livestock management and other agricultural undertakings, he said efforts to increase agricultural productivity are largely limited by lack of accurate information.
It is a general consensus that access to technology, whether it is improved seed, fertilizer, livestock management information, and any other farm best practice and information, is a basic element of any strategy to promote food security and poverty reduction.
Inasmuch as information is paramount, extension workers were also urged to act in the interest of the country by giving accurate information.
We all know that in the absence of data, planning, decision making will rather be impossible. But you should also put this at the back of your mind that data you are going to collect has to reflect what is on the ground. If not, our purpose of coming up with sound policies will be defeated, and we don't want that. We want the right policies in place in the best interest of the country.
This one-day training program by WAP will be followed by a 2-week information gathering exercise, the outcome of which will to a large extent depend on the lessons learned by the agricultural extension workers. Putting those into practice will not only help determine the status of farmers, but generally is communication between them and the extension workers. Farmer Fofana, Grts.
130 community-based distributors working for Gambia Family Planning Association have completed a 3-day training on methods of disseminating vital information about improved family planning techniques. Babukar Senghor has more in this report.
Once at the end of the 3-day training, the Executive Director of Gambia Family Planning Association, Yakubu Diba, told the trainees that their task begins right after the intensive training.
People come to you with their bedroom problems. The next minute, you are sharing it with another person. I think this is something that I will really appeal for all of you to guard against as you go out into the field.
The materials they would be supplied, Diba added, are the properties of the project, and they, he added, should safeguard and use the tools in the right manner. After completing what has been an intensive training, these participants are expected to go into the field and help disseminate vital information about family planning.
I'm urging you, confidentiality, like he has mentioned, that we have discussed during the training, the privacy we've discussed during the training, record keeping, the most important part of all is, if all what we've learned here, you are not putting it down into records, if your sisters come out to see or your supervisors come out to see what you are doing, it's only your records that can tell them that this is how far you have gone with what you have learned, you are practicing in your communities. So these 3 things are very much important in your work that we are going to do.
Likelihood you'll be provoked by some, because we all know when you talk about the issue of condoms and so on, some people, it's easy to say that this person, winting at it. All right? Some will label you to some point that you are an agent and all whatnot of prostitution, but you know what you are doing. And if you know what you are doing is right, you have no cause to fear.
Sisao urged the participants to make best use of the materials they received and allow their communities to build confidence in them by being friendly and open up to make family planning relevant. For his part, the president of the Gambia Family Planning Association assured participants of the association's continuous support.
GFPA will not train you and abandon you, because there will be constant contact with you through the regional staff as well as staff from the headquarters. The regional staff are the ones who are living very close to you. So on behalf of the GFPA honorary officers, the board and the entire volunteers of GFPA, I thank you for taking up this challenge.
The closing ceremony saw presentation of bicycles, mobile phones, tourist communication, and a host of materials. This is expected to increase access to family planning and improve the health status of communities. For Grts News, this is Babukar Senghor.
The African Development Bank and the Belgian government, through the Food and Agriculture Organization, is providing assistance to the Ministry of Agriculture in the form of agricultural inputs as part of efforts to help reduce the effects of the 2011-2012 crop failure. Those inputs will enable the government of the Gambia implement development that will result in improved livelihoods and food security for affected communities. Farmer Fofana tells us more about that development in this report.
As part of national food self-sufficiency efforts, the FAO has been actively involved in shaping initiatives to improve agro-productivity in addition to helping farmers to boost their livelihoods. One of these is by providing quick response to victims of food crisis, especially those vulnerable groups threatened by the 2011 grain scarcity. And as it continues to respond to the crop failure experienced in that year, the UN agency is handing over agricultural inputs to farmers in a bid to enable them enhance their livelihoods. Officials delivered a host of much-needed agricultural inputs, including livestock drugs and vaccines, poultry equipment, chicks and poultry feed. An assessment was conducted after the 2011 crop failure, which indicated that local poultry and livestock in general have been affected following the outbreak of diseases and feed shortage.
In particular, technical cooperation program of FAO is targeting at support to those communities that have lost their birds. And it's targeting, improving both the productivity and the genetic composition of the local birds. We are intervening with the provision of 15,000 exotic cockerels, which are meant to breed with the local chickens at the community level so that they can improve their productivity both in terms of body weight, in terms of feed conversion efficiency, in terms of resistance to diseases.
And these 15,000 birds will be distributed to farmers affected across the length and breadth of the country. The timely intervention of the FAO was saluted by the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Srifo Bojang, on behalf of the Gambia government.
We all know that if farmers are given aid or if they are helped, it will increase their income. Moreover, if they are given poultry, the protein intake of the family will be boosted. The farmer's income also will be boosted. So I want to thank FAO on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture and the government of the Gambia.
Agricultural inputs, including livestock drugs and vaccines, poultry equipment, chicks and poultry feed delivered at a very crucial stage of another rainy season. The ultimate drive here is to improve the productivity of birds to levels that will significantly assure better livelihoods for farmers. Farmer Fofana, GRTS.
We'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
RLG Communications Gambia Limited wishes you all a Ramadan Mubarak. This Ramadan, RLG offers you a gift with every phone or laptop you buy. Gifts include dates, sugar, mugs, milk, and pens. Visit our showroom on 62 Caraba Avenue, opposite the Pipeline Mosque. Or you can find our sales agents at St. Teresa's Upper Basic School, Tipper Garage Car Park, at Westfield, or in Banjul opposite the Albert Market main gate. For more information, please call 437-1170 or 744-9106. A blessed Ramadan from RLG.
RLG, proudly yours.
Welcome back. In Yemen, the U.S. and other Western embassies remain closed, and security officials say a pair of suspected U.S. drone strikes has killed 4 al-Qaeda militants today. Officials won't say who they are targeting, but CNN has been told by multiple sources that there are 2 Yemenis of high interest. The first is the leader of the group in the Arabian Peninsula,